Welcome back. Arresting former President Jacob Zuma will lead to repercussions. That's the stern warning from the Umkhonto Sizwe Military Veterans Association to the State Capture Inquiry's chairperson, Justice Raymond Zondo. The MKMVA was reacting to the Commission's move to lay a criminal complaint against Zuma. To discuss this, I'm joined by the president of the MKMVA, Kebby Maphatsoe. Kebby, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. So, do you know what alarmed me about this story? I saw a headline saying that Ramaphosa could face a coup if Jacob Zuma is arrested. Is that really what you're saying?
No, it's not a true reflection of what I said with the News 24. What I said is that if... let me start by saying we respect the Zondo Commission and also the Deputy Chief Justice Zondo. Then we said we would want to request Deputy Justice Zondo to withdraw that letter laying charges against President Jacob Zuma. Because in the event that Jacob Zuma gets arrested, there is a high risk of civil unrest that will happen, and which will be unable for the government to control.
And what intelligence do you have?
Control.
What intelligence do you have that points to that happening?
Yes.
What information or intelligence do you have that will point to that happening if Jacob Zuma is arrested?
Look, we are security people. You know, we know how to make a risk analysis. And we're saying to people, we have seen this thing happening in other countries. And ultimately it led to the overthrow of the government. That means the coup. Because once there's an unrest, or civil unrest that is uncontrollable, the police would not be able to repeat the Marikana massacre or the soldiers. And that might lead to a standstill where there is no government. The government cannot defeat the people, and the people cannot defeat the government. So we're saying this sometimes in other countries, it leads to coup d'etat. That's what I was saying. So
Kebby, why then, if you have this information, do you not give it to our police, to our intelligence services, instead of telling the Deputy Chief Justice how to do his job?
Remember, is the one who has issued the letter. So we're advising him so that he can be able. It's up to him to do that, because, you know, the problem is that people, when they do things with anger, they sometimes make mistakes. And we are saying, let this thing be treated. It's a commission. It's not unlike people who have been arrested. Jacob Zuma has been arrested, you know. Just now, two white people killed a poor African, and they were released. And people are angry on the ground. So we're saying to Deputy Justice Zondo, with due respect, reconsider your letter that you wrote to the Secretary to complain to the police. That's what the context of the statement is all about.
Yeah. So are you at all, as MKMVA, going to participate in any action if Jacob Zuma is arrested?
Obviously, because Jacob Zuma is a former commander-in-chief.
No, I'm not talking about protest action. I'm talking about this so-called unrest that you say you have information on.
I'm trying to respond to your question. It's that President Jacob Zuma is a member of MKMVA. And obviously we cannot be happy if he gets arrested. Obviously we'll demonstrate as MKMVA for his release. Then if the situation gets out of control, we cannot be blamed for that when we have warned the commission that please, for the sake of our country and stability.
No, that's not democratic. What you're saying is not constitutional either, because you're basically saying that we will take to the streets if Jacob Zuma is arrested, and if things get out of hand, it's not your responsibility. But if you are, as the MKMVA, leading a protest or anything of that sort in support of Jacob Zuma and it gets out of hand, you will ultimately be responsible.
Look, we as MKMVA, we know our numbers. We know how we organize ourselves. So there are people who love President Jacob Zuma. It's not that all those who hate him, the whole country hates him. There are many people, thousands of people, millions who support, who still love President Jacob Zuma. That is why we're saying people must not use emotions and anger.
But you look like you're using emotions and anger, because the Deputy Chief Justice is well within his rights to issue that statement and ask for Jacob Zuma to be brought back into the commission because he walked out of the commission.
It's not anger. That is why we're advising.
But you have no right to advise the Deputy Chief Justice on how to do his job.
Look, if you take it or you don't take it, but if it happens, then let us not be blamed.
Kebby, given your position, Kebby, don't you think it would be more responsible for you to give this information that you have of so-called unrest to intelligence services if that was the case? Wouldn't that be the responsible thing to do instead of going to the Deputy Chief Justice and telling him what to do?
Look, we are addressing the respected Deputy Chief Justice, advising him to reconsider the letter that he has issued. We are requesting to him so that we are giving him reasons why that he should reconsider that.
Okay, we're going to leave it.
That's the thing. We're speaking to the Deputy Chief Justice, or not speaking to the police. We're speaking to the person who issued that instruction, advising him that, this thing might lead to civil unrest.
I get what you're saying, and I'm saying that you should instead take that information to police. But we're going to have to leave it right there. Kebby Maphatsoe from the MKMVA.